Everyone thinks the Forerunner 265S is just a smaller, prettier Garmin with an AMOLED face. But here's the thing, the extra money isn't about the screen at all. It's about the recovery intelligence and GPS wizardry that can actually change your training outcomes. Stop chasing the brightest display and start asking if a watch can tell you when not to train, hold pace in a city canyon, and still last 2 weeks. I wore the 265S for 21 days, logged over 150 miles, 2 speed sessions a week, and a race rehearsal. And what I discovered flipped my answer on whether it's worth paying more. Spoiler. It wasn't the feature I expected that sold me. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick note. If you're already leaning 265S and want the best current price, I'll drop my affiliate link below. But stick around, because one finding about battery and GPS might save you from buying the wrong model. Here's why I even needed this watch. I'm training for a spring half PR while juggling early mornings, dark city streets, and a tight recovery window. My old watch struggled downtown. My pace jumped 20 seconds in either direction near tall buildings. I also kept guessing recovery, which led to that classic cycle. Crush a Tuesday workout, feel smoked Thursday, limp into long runs. I considered going Apple for the smart features, but 1 to 2 days of battery isn't it for a runner who uses GPS 5 times a week. I wanted something light for smaller wrists, real coaching help, and GPS I could trust. I tried cheaper models before. They looked fine on paper, but either the data felt off or the guidance was generic. Skeptical but curious, I went 265S to see if the hype and the price would finally line up. First, GPS where GPS usually fails. I did 3 loops through a downtown corridor with tall glass buildings and havoc-inducing intersections. With multiband GNSS and SatIQ on auto, the 265S hugged my actual path instead of leapfrogging across the street. Instant pace steadied within a few seconds instead of yo-yoing. Battery used about 4–5% per hour on mixed roads. When I forced multiband on full time, it bumped closer to 6–7% per hour. SatIQ automatically dialed down when conditions were easy, which meant I didn't have to micromanage. But then came the track test. On a structured 12x400 session, laps clicked right at the start line without me babysitting the button, and splits were consistent. However, on a soaked, windy day, the touchscreen did get a little twitchy. Good thing you can lock it and rely on the classic buttons. Then the morning report and training readiness. After a short night, my readiness score opened low, HRV below my baseline, and the daily suggested workout switched to easy with strides. I followed it, recovered, and 2 days later nailed the tempo the watch slotted in. On a different week, after a big weekend-long run, it flagged me with a moderate readiness. I tested it with a hill session anyway. The watch read strain afterward and suggested recovery. Was it perfect? No, metrics are estimates, but the pattern was eerily aligned with how my legs actually felt. That alone helped me avoid the overreach that usually nukes my Thursdays. Race prep was next. I plugged my half marathon into Garmin Connect. The race widget spun up personalized daily suggestions that adapted after each run. Miss a session, it shifted. Ran harder than planned, it backed off. Race week, it gave me a course-specific strategy and predicted finish that landed within about a minute and a half of my rehearsal. I also used wrist-based running power on hill repeats, no extra sensors, to keep effort steady when pace lied. Notably, the 40-toom case felt almost invisible on the wrist during threshold work. The weight never bothered me. Battery and everyday life sealed the first impression. Garmin claims up to 15 days in smartwatch mode and up to 24 hours in GPS. My real world, with notifications on, 5 GPS runs a week, SatIQ on auto, and a couple of playlists saved for phone-free runs, I averaged 10–12 days per charge. If you enable always-on display full-time, expect that to dip. Bright sun, the AMOLED held up. A quick wrist raise beat any visibility concerns. Safety features like incident detection and assistance worked when paired to my phone, and smart notifications were reliable. Downsides: no full mapping if you're a trail ultra person, and if you're heavy on music every run, you'll chew battery faster. Here's where it gets interesting. The most surprising thing I found isn't flashy. SatIQ is the unsung hero. It quietly toggles multiband on only when needed, delivering near top-tier accuracy without torching the battery. Also, the S model's smaller case actually lasted longer in my tests than the larger 265, which is rare in tech. And those daily suggestions, far more useful than the generic plans I've used. They adjusted to my sleep, HRV, and training load in a way that felt human. Compared to alternatives, the 265S just threads the needle. Coro's Pace 3 is cheaper and its battery is a beast, but its coaching ecosystem and readiness-style guidance are simpler. Apple Watch Smarts are unmatched, but if you train outdoors a lot, 1 to 2 days of battery and looser GPS under tall buildings can be a deal-breaker. Older Garmins are solid value if you don't care about AMOLED or the newest training tools. But the 265S combines reliable multi-band GPS, recovery-aware guidance, comfortable small wrist fit, and a display that actually makes you want to look at your data. At $359.99 with a 4.6-star Amazon rating, the value case is stronger than I expected. Now that you know SatIQ and the training readiness ecosystem are the real payoff, grab it before prices bounce during race season and popular colors go out of stock. I'll leave my best price link in the description and you can see current deals in real time. Bottom line, if you're a runner with smaller wrists who wants accurate GPS in tough environments, actionable recovery insights, and battery life that survives real training weeks, the Forerunner 265S is absolutely worth the extra spend. Skip it if you need full topo maps, ultra-distance battery, or if you only care about smartwatch apps. Everyone else, this is the sweet spot between brains, battery, and comfort. The hype wasn't the screen. It was the way this thing quietly coaches you faster without burning you out.